Thanks for joining us here on Arc Salt Lake. I'm Brian Schnee. It is Wednesday, November 5th. Tonight we expand our usual state borders to hopefully help a father find his 16-year-old daughter with ties to Utah. Tonight on Utah's Missing, a teenager from Elko, Nevada with ties to Utah. 16-year-old Shyann Dickinson last seen in eastern Nevada on May 3rd, 2025. 186 days. That's how long it's been since her family has seen her. I spoke with Cheyenne's father about her disappearance and the reasons he believes that she may have left.
She was sneaking out and talking to older guys, and she gotten into drugs, and so I signed her up for military school, and yeah, she didn't like that at all. So she took off May 3rd around 6:30 at night, and yeah, we'd had some trouble a couple days before. She tried saying that she tried getting us in trouble with DCFS, and DCFS came in and did an investigation and found out that she wasn't being abused or anything, and she was trying to get taken away is what she was trying to do, because she didn't want to go to military school. Well, that didn't work out, so she left, and I figured, you know, she left in May. In July she was supposed to start military school. I figured she'd, you know, come back around, you know, a little time after that, and here we are in November, and I haven't heard anything from her, or found out where she was at, if she's okay. Or...
Well, Shyann, known as Shy, has ties to Utah, Arizona, Texas, and Oklahoma, just to name a few spots. But again, it's been more than 6 months since her disappearance. So I asked her father if he's had any contact with her since the day Shyann left.
No, sir. None at all. Yeah, she hasn't reached out. Nobody else has heard anything from her that I know of. Yeah, she's got friends in Utah, and she could be anywhere from Utah and Texas. I mean, she spent some time in Texas and has some friends over there. The police said that she could be in Mesa, Arizona, but I don't know. We're trying to follow up on that. My wife's been talking to the detective, and I've been in there a few times, you know, kind of asking them, you know, where they've been, if they've had any leads, and yeah, they haven't had any leads or don't have any information.
Social media, was she big on there?
She was. Yeah, she did social media. We had to take her phone away from her because, you know, she was getting into trouble. So she had some friends, and their parents were giving her phones, and she was hiding the phone out in the bushes, and I didn't even know about it. And yeah, come to find out, she was still, you know, talking to guys and sneaking out at night, and yeah, it was a big mess.
Shyann, roughly 5'6", weighing approximately 160 pounds, auburn hair and brown eyes. She has several small tattoos and a nose piercing on her left nostril. Now, her dad admits she has had some of those personal struggles, but I asked him if he puts all of that aside to describe her.
She's loving and caring, and she's funny, and she's an awesome person. She's just going through some times right now, and you know, I'd like to be there to help her through them. You know, life isn't easy, and you know, it's hard, and I think I could get her through these troubled times, you know, given the chance.
Shyann Dickinson is 16 years old, missing since May 3rd out of Elko, Nevada. If she were to have been in Utah, her father says it's the Sandy area, so likely along the Wasatch Front. Now, I reached out to the Elko County Sheriff's Office today about this case and did not get a response. However, if you have any information on where Shyann may be, or you know of someone she may be with, you can call the Elko County Sheriff's Office. The number 775-738-3421. It's been 159 days since the now 16-year-old Kylie Ariano left her home in Garden City, Utah. Kylie would have begun 10th grade recently and would have turned 16 last month. Kylie's mother says she's had no contact with her daughter since late May. Kylie, 5'6", weighing roughly 115 pounds. She has chin-length brown hair, brown eyes, and black braces with tattoos. If you have any information on her whereabouts, contact the Rich County Sheriff's Office at 435-793-2285, referencing case number 25R308. 9-year-old Melody Buzzard has been missing for 27 days. She's from California, but could be here in Utah. Police say her mom took her on a trip that went from the Santa Barbara area to Nebraska and drove through Arizona, Nevada, and Utah and Kansas. Her mom is back in California without Melody, and she's not talking. Police have searched the house, the storage unit, and the rental car used on the trip. They also released these photos of Melody and her mom wearing wigs when they picked up that white Malibu rental car. We now know that at some point here, the license plate on the car was changed from a California plate to a New York plate, then changed back. Our true crime team, Criminally Obsessed, got a lengthy interview with the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office about the investigation and the last known sighting of Melody.
Can you tell me how investigators got to the October 9th day? Because that's another whole day that we now know that she was seen.
Right. So, this investigation began with basically a year where we're trying to fill in, a time gap of where was Melody. We got that down to one day for investigative focus to try to bring us closer to where she is today. This is on the 18th of October, we did reach out to our partners at FBI and request their assistance once we established that this crossed California state lines, and in this case went along multiple states. We initially knew that this trip went from California to Nebraska down into Kansas, and then before it returned back to Lompoc. And so we were searching for Melody anywhere along that route. We've since, and with this most recent press release, we have honed that down to a one-day period for that trip. And again, that's going to tell us where she was on the 9th and the 10th, which is going to get us closer to where she is today.
The FBI tried to get surveillance footage from several businesses in Utah near the Colorado border, but it was too late. And the small mom and pop shops only had enough storage to keep 2 weeks worth of video, and the FBI got there 2 days too late. To watch the full interview on the case of Melody Buzzard, check out Criminally Obsessed on YouTube. We just helped them do an episode on Reed Jepson, so check that one out as well. And for continued coverage on Utah's missing cases, join us Wednesdays, 7 o'clock, right here on Arc Salt Lake. We're dedicating to help Utah's Utah families and those in the surrounding areas, like this family in Elko, Nevada. You can reach out on social media if you have a case you want us to look into. Taking a closer look at the next couple of days here, we see that we are, quote, tracking storms. What does that mean here, Sean, for the days ahead?
A little bit of rain and some cooler temperatures here. Significantly cooler, in fact, because we were right around 70 degrees today, tomorrow into the 50s. So a little bit chilly here, especially when you compare it to just how lucky we've been well into the 70s. A few showers popping up well up towards the north, but we're quiet for right now, quiet and dry. We're at 68 degrees here in Salt Lake City. We're going to be dealing with gusty winds through much of the overnight 60 or 28 mile You'll see those rain chances, 40 to 20% chance. That's for both Thursday morning and Friday morning, and then we're done with the rain and we deal with some quiet weather that settles back in. But a little bit of a dose of reality here, going from 70 down into the 50s. We'll let you know how long this cool weather pattern will last. Coming up, my first alert weather forecast.
All right, Sean, thank you. The countdown to ski season is officially underway here. Coming up on Arc Salt Lake, we speak to local leaders from Ski Utah about the big money being poured into resorts here in the Beehive State. So many big moves this year for skiers and riders, including what's happened at Snow Basin. Some major improvements for us, for all of us here taking advantage. I caught up with the brand manager, Brooks Rowe, at the Ski Utah opener this morning to get the details.
We finally got RFID, so we're joining the crew. It's going to be a nice, easy access to our lifts. Everyone on our Icon passes or anyone visiting from other resorts will be able to just streamline their access, join in. The next thing, we updated our Becker lifts. So one of our kind of user-friendly but beginner lifts that access some beginner terrain. Used to be about a 16-minute ride. We've cut that down to 13, 16-minute ride, depending on how fast we're running it, down to about a 6-minute ride. and a 4-pack, not a fixed grip 3-pack. It's going to be a lot better. It's going to give quicker access to our strawberry side of the mountain, which people love to hunt for on powder days. And it's just going to spread people out and give more kind of fluidity to our runs. Also, kind of coming off of that, in the past we've had sort of a bottleneck on our mountain called Bear Hollow, where all of the expert skiers that are coming from the top of the mountain to beginner riders that are using our Becker and Wildcat lift, we've expanded Bear Hollow by over 70 feet. And so that's going to fill in. We've cut some kind of corners around that and widened it up, but it's just going to be a lot more welcoming of a zone and a lot more, again, just kind of like user-friendly for all those people exploring.
Two things. It was loud there because people were having a great time. Also, I'm so excited to experience the new Becker chair, having ridden the Becker chair over the last few years. Big difference coming. So Snow Basin not alone in the efforts and the capital investment. Millions have been invested into slope improvements all across the state at a bunch of different resorts. CEO of Ski Utah telling me no one can do it like Utah. What is it like to be seeing people add so much capital investment in the opportunity for skiers and riders that come here to Utah?
You know, Brian, it's amazing. It's kind of head spinning to see so much happening at one time. Deer Valley's obviously headlining with, I mean, nobody puts 10 lifts in over 2 years. You're essentially building a new resort. So, but the list is really long. You know, Deer Valley's 10 lifts and 100 runs. Sundance has a brand new hotel. Snowbird with the brand new, amazing mid-mountain restaurant. New gondola at Park City. New chairlift at Snow Basin. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So, you know, as local skiers and riders, we're going to have our hands full this year trying out all this new stuff.
How do you keep the momentum going based on record snow year a couple years ago? People coming out of the pandemic, kind of like the game of golf where more people got into skiing and riding because it was something they could do outside.
For sure.
But how do you keep the momentum here and people specifically coming to Utah?
Yeah, well, we've got this little cherry on top in 2034 called the Olympic Winter Games, and a day does not go by where somebody doesn't mention the Olympics to me, and we've got about 8 years to go before that happens, and I think you're going to continue to see these improvements happen for the next 8 years. Or is it going to be $500 million every year? Probably not, but I think you're going to see some significant improvements to our resorts, to our transportation infrastructure, and exciting times ahead. I'd say, you know, Utah is really having a moment.
Well, the big improvements this year, but also the future at Bryan Head looks bright with a major expansion. They also talked about the future of Sundance, perhaps, and also a UDOT spokesperson there today talking about changes coming to the traction law in the canyons. That'll be rolling out in the next few weeks, something that a lot of people have had opinions on over the last couple of years about, is it being used properly? Well, there are some changes that may change the overall feel and the flow of the traction law. Sean Kelly knows all about the cottonwoods and what it can turn into. And there's the possibility, right, that something may stick in the cottonwoods in the next couple days here?
Yeah, maybe a coating to a couple inches, especially high up there, maybe see.
Traction law changes. A teaser, it's coming.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, the mid to end of November, it's looking quite active. Out ahead of that, though, after this little blip in the forecast here tomorrow, I think it's looking pretty calm. Next week, it's still golfing weather.
Okay.
So hang in there, snow lovers. It's still right around the corner, but we've still have some warm days ahead of us. Now, in the short term, we're going to deal with the cool down. Even with this cool down, though, it's still right where we should be for this time of the year. So it's not too significant in that respect, but it is significant in terms of just how warm it's been and the change that we will see. So 70 was our high today. That's more than 15 degrees warmer than normal. We're into the 60s up and down the Wasatch Front, so it's still comfortable. Why is it so warm this evening is the winds still gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour out of the south. That will keep us warm until that cold front moves in early tomorrow morning, and when it does, the winds will finally take a break here. So a little bit gusty out of the north and west, though, and that will cool us down quite a bit. So we've been dealing with some cloudy skies up and down the Wasatch Front, up and down much of the state today. Starting to see some changes up towards the north and west across the border there. Here's the timeline that we're looking at for the overnight cold front. Logan area around midnight, then arriving to Ogden as early as 2 a.m. in the morning, Salt Lake City around 4 a.m., and Provo around 6 a.m. So take the time that you see on the screen and your location, and within an hour before to an hour after the time that you see is when you can also see the best chance for rain. So that window for rain is pretty short, about 2 to 2.5 hours. You'll see that moving in 4 a.m., cold front moving down across the south. It's a quick moving system. The rain's already pretty much out of here by 8 o'clock in the morning, and then we're dealing with sunshine and chilly weather into Thursday morning. So not a big rain event, and then we can maybe see another little one as we move into the day on Friday. So we'll watch out for that. How much will we see? 1/10 of an inch at best, really, in many spots. Again, not a big rain producer, not a big snow producer, but a coating to maybe a couple inches will be possible for some of those high elevations. So those lows overnight, we're down into the 40s and 30s. We've got 50s for highs tomorrow. For St. George, you're looking at temperatures here into the 70s heading into the weekend. Beautiful weather, a little bit cloudier into next week. And then across the Wasatch Front, we're dealing with that cool down that will last all the way through the weekend. Sunday, actually, the best of the 2 days for the weekend. And then you'll see as we get into next week, Brian, we've got kind of spring-like weather making a return back into the 60s we go. Going to be quite warm a week from today as well, 67 degrees.
All right, Sean, I missed you for golf today. Let's plan for next Wednesday. Most people her age are taking it easy, but this Florida grandma taking the plunge. Coming up on Arc Salt Lake, we'll tell you how one woman's sky-high passion is about to land her a major milestone. One Florida woman proving the sky is not the limit when it comes to achieving your dream regardless of your age.
Yeah, meet 86-year-old Kim Noor, who last month went skydiving for the 999th time.
She made her first jump in 1959 when she was 18 years old after she forged her parents' signature. Noor stepped away from the sport in 1967 to raise her family, but later returned to the skies in 2003. That is when she set a new goal of reaching 1,000 jumps.
This is insane. She plans to make that milestone jump this week in Lake Wales, Florida. Once she achieves her goal, Noor will earn the United States Parachute Association Gold Wings.
That's a big deal. Big celebration for veterans at the Salt Lake Tabernacle. The Rocky Mountain Winds and Granite High School combined choirs will perform for free. That is on Monday night.
Yeah, normally Utah's National Guard puts this production together. However, they had to pull their support due to the government's shutdown. The concert starts at 7 p.m.
And it is free, so you know what to do Monday night at 7, or you can be right here with us also
That's
at
right.
7. We are back tomorrow night. We'll see you then.